はい、FF16 2周目ファイナルファンタジーチャレンジ続きをやっていきたいと思います。今日はオットと話すところからだね。おっと、クプカを倒したぞ。あ、手振られた。ただいま。
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto. Any word on the Royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
Vivian と話す。どう、ウォールード。
Ah, the conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of Waludas.
The very same.
こんばんは。
Whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, he took them to his grave, as did his men, slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waludas must have ferried them over from Ash, but why? Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map?
ウォールードのおさらい。マザコンがいる王国。
It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of ash. Yet warlike Walud shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Walud? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waluda standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
みんな朗報だ。そしてクエストが生まれているぞ。
Anything catch your eye?
ダルメキアのクエスト。
Always something in there.
あとあれだね。素材渡さないと材料。
I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding the ammonia.
取ってきたよ。
Only the usual.
Oh, yes. This is it. And more than I was expecting. I dare say the patient won't feel a thing. That is, unless I...
You'll do fine. Taya trusts you. Which means I trust you. The Hideaway would be lost without skilled physicers like yourself.
Thank you for the kind words. Truly. But... I'm sorry. I'm still terrified. The brand is more than just ink on flesh. It's a death sentence. Milk of the wyvern tail lurking just below the surface of the skin. One ill-conceived incision. A single slip, and the poison fouls the patient's blood. Failure means death. And even success means tremendous pain. Days of agony as the wound heals. I became a physiker to help people, not to kill them. I don't want to kill anyone.
Cursebreakers lead hard lives. And the operation is only the beginning. They toil in the shadows, risking life and limb, knowing their efforts will win them neither glory nor acclaim. And yet we never won for volunteers. Why do you think that is?
Conviction? They're willing to die?
They're willing to fight. To give their lives to create a world where people like us can be more than mere possessions. I know your work isn't easy. But neither is going under the knife. Be a shoulder for your patients to lean on. Stay strong for them.
You sound like Taya. Do you know what she once told me? It's natural for a patient to feel like they're suffering in solitude. And it's a physiker's duty to see that they don't. Thank you for helping me remember that. I won't falter. Not again.
そうそう、なんか普通に夜勤とかでジュって入れてるのかと思ってたけどさ、わざわざそんなことするんだって感じだよね。これやばいじゃんね。だから普通にさ、刻印さ取ってなくてもさ、右頬とか思いっきり殴られたりさ、切られたりとかしたら終わりってことでしょ。毒が体内に入っちゃえばさ、右頬なんて殴られそうじゃない？なんか簡単に。すごい、なんかこの人すげえ手振ってくれるんだけど。あ、振ってくれない。 トルガルカロン。
Well, someone looks pleased with himself. It's true what I'm hearing, then.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kuka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders, then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though.
ポーション買っとこ
Is it business or pleasure?
う。エンハンスソード。あ、マックスだ
Come
った。
again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
なんか言ってた。ブラックソーン。
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Kuka is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning under a new Sid.
I'll try to live up to the name.
なんて優しい笑顔なんだ。
What do you need? So, what'll it be?
エンハンスソードください。
Should last you a good while.
あ、なんか足りないな。お、ダイヤアームレット。ダイヤアームレット。お、エンハンスソード強化。
That should do you.
ダイヤソードプラス。ダイヤソード。青龍の骨プラス。
That it? Fine.
あとハルポちゃんだね。ハルポクラテス。
Ah, Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually.
しかしクライブいいですよね。夫婦の主人公でトップクラスに好きかも。人ができてるよね。
Oh my. Can it really
いや
be true?
他の FF の主人公ができてないってことじゃないんだけどさ、結構わんぱくが多いじゃん。
He is the big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
大人だからかな。まあ大人なのもあるし、
A new dawn
性
has
格もある
broken.
んだろうね。
It does.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good
この
news.
落ち着きは。
Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me.
で自分もさ、自分も年齢上がってるからさ、良さがわかるんだろうね。より。
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him with my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
よし。オットのところに行こう。結局アルテマって神様ということでいいのかな。そうだね。創造神。もうここに出てきてるのかな。あ、出てきてるわ。あれしかないけど。
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Just spreading the word.
墓参りか。まだそうじゃないか。
So, the professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing.
やっぱ墓参りだ。
You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
モーグリの音がする。
When you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it. ミドは結局行かないけどな。ミド墓参り行くけど。
Alright, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I was hoping you'd say that.
転がされてる。
First things first, I need some parts meching. The sack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then?
ミスリル
Probably
装
best
備
to。take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
ブラックソンじいちゃんにね。
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
ミスリルの鎧普通に欲しいな。 防御力上がるんじゃないのかな。はあ、クライブが不自然な動きを一回回しとくか。ブラックソーン。
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
またミドが作っててたって。
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin in here, will you?
All right.
オットーとガブもなんか呼ばれてできるんだねって感じだよね。ああ、これデートイベントか。
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still.
そうだ。
If that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this
シロって騎士でドミナントで反乱軍作って発明までしてたとか化け物だな。なんか頭が良すぎて大変だったろうなとかオットーが言ってたけど、本当その通りだね。
Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, and we can get this over with.
デートイベント来たよ。
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
そりゃ前オットーと言ったからガブと行くよ。
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Alamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
ガブとデート。
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'll have to see him dry.
お前じゃあるまいし。
In your own time.
うわー、ジルを選びたいけどジル前選んだからな。タルヤを選ばないとな。はっ。こっちから出ていいのかな。
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav?
ガブー。いたいた。お待たせい。はあ。 ジャンプしちゃった。
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can.
でも普通はジルを選びますよね。大体の人はそうだよね。
I asked over in Dalamil, and they seemed to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
拾いまくろう。あった。
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
水がきれい。トルガラあとどこにある？あった。あ、左向いちゃう。あ。あと1個。お。乗れない。クライブ登るだ。よし。どこや。ん？ん？おや？どこだ？こっちだっけ？あ、ここか。あ。
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
ガブ拾えたよ。
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
5個。
You win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat?
どんな会話かな。
Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain? Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
面白い距離感だよね。
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
マブダチだな。ねえ、トルガル。
I feel good, boy.
餌もあげよう。あ、餌じゃなかった。餌をあげよう。はい。オッケー。トルガルにご飯あげた。お互い忙しくてなかなか会えないけど信頼してるんだ。
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
やっぱりガブの DLC かな。潜入ミッション。
Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
オットーの隠れ家運営とガブの潜入捜査。タルヤの手術。カローンの交渉。ブラックソンの舵打ち。隠れ家ミニゲームできる。
So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
お目目が綺麗。メタルギアガブ。トルガル連れて行きたい。でもトルガルは連れて行けない。
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
いいなぁ。ガブって飛び道具とか使ってないよね。剣だよね。どういう特殊能力かな。跳躍とステルス。無線とかないからな。誰もサポートしてくれないな。オットーがサポートしてくれっかな。地図ビビアンがマップくれっかな。
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. One down, two to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
君、ヘレナ、回収行くぞ。
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes.
身軽だから背後から暗殺。
I'll show you the plans then.
これってやつか
Here
な。
you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat.
それとも
That
スッ
heat
て切
is
っちゃう
then
のかな。
harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack.
あれか、牢屋の前で切ってたか。ロザリス城の時。
Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating,
クライブちゃ
you
んと聞い
see,
て。
and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Reed said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain
何気にすごい人たちが集まってますよね、この隠れ家。そうそう。この子とかもさ、ベアラーなのに教育行き届いてるよね。
going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
ベアラーって教育受けられないはずなのに、最初のベアラーって分かった時点でね、奴隷にされちゃってるのに。すごいよね。あっちから出る。ああ、上がった方だな。超有能集団。ベアラーの中じゃトップクラスだよね。なんで教育受けてないのにそんなことがわかるんか。本とか読んだのかな。ミドに教えてもらったのかな。こっちで合ってるかな。合ってる。うわ。アンブロシア。林道走るの苦手なんよな。地味に細いから。デフォルトで左入力されちゃうし。
Time to fight.
この辺りか。
Straight home now.
ん？ 成長してから発覚したパターン。どうなんだろうね。なんか人間としてさ、今まで生きてきてさ、なんか死ぬ直前にベアラになっても嫌だよね。でもあれか、検査に回されたらその時点でわかんのかな。後からベアラーになるスタイルの人いんのかな。
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The ruins.
検査を抜けてたらわかんないよね。
As is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
この辺りか。
Anybody home?
あ、いた。
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
70？ 届かない。いた。危ない。ここ狭いな。いけい。目閉じてる。それそれ。いて。それ行くぞー。てい。さあ、ちょっと待って、どういうこと？段差でダメだったの？どういうことよ。段差でダメだったのあれ。なんかこいつ効かない？やばいやばい、これやばいぞー。危ない危ない危ない。暗い。It's over。なんか効かなくなかった？あんな近くでやったのに。
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
運ぶのが大変だわ。よし、緑報告だ。 なぜか暫定権が効かなかったんだが。効かない敵がいるんでございますか。え？強化したのになあ。あ、まだ手振ってくれた、あの人。モブハントが開かれていっている。謎の暫定権向こうね。即死耐性があるのかな。向こうも即死使ってくるから。今日左ブルブルがひどいな。なんかクライブの動きがおかしい。
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
ハルポクラテースに聞きに行こう。てかこの飛空艇の遺物そのまま使うことできないのかな家なくなっちゃうけどお、ガブが一人で作戦会議か。
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
ダイヤフルアンクレットもう常に右にレバーを倒しておこう。そうするとさ、急にさ何にもならなくなったりするんだよね。困ったもんだよ。ハルポさん、
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. but Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
これでタルヤを選んだジルはどんな反応をするんだ。
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom.
ちょっと選ぶのが怖いな。ちょっとジルじゃない人をタルヤを選ぶのが怖いな。
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic? Conch shells? Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
See you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
Hippocrates and I'll look after things here. You head over to Northreach.
大人じゃない特に不機嫌じゃなかった。さすがにそんなことで怒る年ではないか。
Now, where's Taya?
Taya.
And what can I do for you?
あ、売り切れ。
Come back again.
Need to stock up on these.
There you are, Taya.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What shall I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
そっち選ぶんだとか言わないんだね。さすがに言わないんだね。
Buy, sell, or be gone. Go on.
Take it.
ピピオの実ゲット。すいません、ニンニクくださ
Any
い。
friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. I trust it's all here.
That should do it. Hopefully Ty is finished too.
終わったよー。
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
何話すのかな。場所は同じだ。え、そういう感じ？
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. It's really been 5 years. I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
そういう感じじゃなかったね、さすがに。さすがに汁を差し置いてってことはないよな。シドとは何もなかったのかな、タルヤは。
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Oh, I'm never drinking.
ただいまー。
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Taya how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
シドと合いそうだけどね、タルヤ。
I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the Moondew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
お、レベル上がった。
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
クライブとジル以外の恋愛模様はどうなってんだろうね。ミドできたけど墓参り行かないでしょ。
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat, a coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
クライブはジル以外を恋愛対象にしてないな。してないね、全く。彼は一途ですよ。
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
しばらくしてミスリル期間だ。
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
ガブは最後に出てきた妊婦さんでしょ。なんか妊婦さんに興味あるっていうよりかは赤ちゃんにめちゃめちゃ興味ありそうだったよね。さあ、ミドどうすんの？
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
はいはい、キャプテン。そしてミドがキャミソールだな。見れば見るほどキャミソールだな。ちょっと今下で脱走してる？まだ大丈夫そうだけどな。そういえば登場人物で結婚してる人がほとんどいないですね。そうだね。てか結婚してる人いる？あれか、マードック将軍と奥さん。あれなんか下にプラスが出てるぞ。ブラックソンかまた。わ、もういないミド。あ、これカバンだな。もういないぞミドが。もう逃げられたか。ここから見えるか。いやー、もういないな。
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
瞬間移動か。
Did, yes.
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
Oh, you in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelith.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle?
おじよりクライブへ、自由都市カンベルの知人から奴が支援しているエンタープライズのことを聞いた。わしも後押しするとしよう。だが話によれば無許可の大型船造船にカンベルの役人どもが嗅ぎ回っているようだ。このままでは手回しした新たな港の建築にも影響が出る。そこでガブ君の力を借りられないだろうか。連中の動きを探るのに一役買ってもらいたい。バイロン。
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
ご指名入ります。
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
いつでも行けるわけじゃないんだよね。
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there will be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, man!
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklab markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Oh, okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav.
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
かっこいい。
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
クライブとシドが一緒にいたのって数週間くらい短かったよね。だって会ってジルオと会って隠れ家行ってなんやかんやしてさ、火のドミナント追いかけてフェニックスゲート行って戻ってきて、でその後もうクリスタル破壊しに行っちゃうもんね。グッズどんだけ欲しかったんだよ。ワールドマップからレトニキ王国に入る。あ、手紙が来てる。あ、ここ水なんだ。
Drake's fang is gone. There's nothing left but a crater.
あ、ルジェナ・ダリミル協力再開。ルジェナ・ダリミルからクライブへ協力再開の報告を兼ねた初めての報告だ。まずあんたを試すような真似をしたことは謝らせてくれ。素性のわからないやつに慎重になってしまった。だがその分俺は一度仲間になったやつへの協力は惜しまない。今後ともよろしく。ここら辺ね。これだ、トルガルのこと。 またブラックソーンね。おじよりクライブが読んだ。トルガルのこと言ってみよう。
What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him.
俺のトルガルに何が。
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgor?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
覚醒してからちょっとおやつが口に合わなくなったらしい。ハルポさん、フロストウルフのおやつは何でしょ
う。 Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgor. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite. Which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgor, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
クレシダハイソンでトルガルのおやつをゲットしてこよう。もっと高級な骨をよこせってことか。そのようだ。あれ？いけない。ここに行く以外に行けなくなってる。クエスト進められないんだ。あはー。でもそんなさ、そんな別にガンガン行かなかったよね。行ってみるか。 クリスタル自治療へ。
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
これでいけんのかな。あ、いけるわ。クレシダハイソン。クレシダハイソン。こっちか。こっち？真逆だね。
Stay sharp.
こっち？合ってる合ってる。アムロシア。
Come on.
非常に左に行ってしまうな。なんかでかいのがいるな。せい。あ、来てる。あ帰ってた。うわ、73だって。あれか、経験値アップのやつつけといた方がいいかな。これで敵化は治せないんだけど、タルヤの薬って要は痛み止めということですよね。そうだね。治すことはできないから、本当に痛みをごまかすことしかできないよね。3おいなくなったエネミーが25% 吸うやつを外しても吸えるかな、レベル5まで。ちょっとやってみるか。気に入ってもらえる？かっけー。
I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Come on, boy. Huh. カローン、この子はね、もうね、ただの骨じゃ満足できないんだ。
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
73レベルの骨だ。
You can, eh? I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
ハルポが呼んでるって。ハルポちゃん、予想通りだったよ。
Ah, Clive.
もっとたくさんストックしておいた方がよくない？今後レベルが高い敵と会うからその骨を集めていくか。
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah, but that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid.
エリートだからな。
The icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I'm not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
さすが私のトルガル。はい。というところでね、今日はここで切ろうかなと思います。暫定権 25% アップをしなくても吸えるんだったらレベルアップにしておきたいけど、これマスター化したら多分攻撃回数、違うか、攻撃回数はもう増加しないのか。じゃあいけるかな。ちょっと一回やってみるか。はい。じゃあこれでね、次回は、ボグラド市場に向かって、テオくんとかんとこだね。で、クリスタル自治療に入りたいと思います。はい。では、ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。